stream here on lichess and Twitch. Yeah, I think they changed the font here on Twitch. Someone else noticed that yesterday. Alright, slight font change. What's up, Repoon and Troll and Roll? Troll and Roll, it's been a long time. Astrobate with the quotes. Okay, what's up, guys? Please don't send me random team requests. Alright, Repoon 1078. We're taking challenges 5-3 through 7+3. I might have surprised you guys. Showing up without a warning. Starting just 2 minutes late. Some weird background noise. Sounds like an announcement or something. Astrobate, how are you? What's with the Owen defense yesterday? Alright, I gotta close the window again. I just can't take the ambulance sounds. Extremely annoying. Guess I should start listening to music while I play. Maybe my only choice to save me from this. Bishop c4. Turn on the fan. The Evans Gambit. Yes. Nice. What happens if queen b3 right away there? Alright, so the castles, you're 1078 and you play the Evans Gambit. Alright then. You tried to play something like the Evans Gambit against me last time. Can I play this Queen d7 now? I think I'm supposed to develop if you do it this way. What if I just play knight f6? It's a little scary that the guy's playing the Evans Gambit. And he's 1000 rated. That's got to be a first on lichess. First 1000 player who knows the Evans Gambit. Sandbagging. Now this is a bit of a problem. What happens if pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn? Queen d8. I guess I give a pawn back. It's no big deal. Queen b3 is probably not as good. Guess I can always just sacrifice an exchange. Bonsai. Paschall. Are you really from Russia? Rook d1. Why not pawn takes pawn? Pawn takes pawn, knight takes, pawn takes, bishop a3 wins the exchange. I'm going to have to sack the exchange back for one pawn. 2 pawns, actually. Maybe. No, I mean, I think that was stronger. Queen e7. This is not a 1,000 player. What is happening here? I don't know why Twitch has got a lot of lag. Whenever I try to get in there, it's very slow. They're saving money. This is like a 1,000 player who's really 1,800 in this game. Not playing any rated games with you, that's for sure. But I think I made a mistake. He confused me with castles. That's not supposed to be the move. White's supposed to play queen b3 right away, as far as I remember. Am I wrong? No, that's the way it's supposed to go. I once checked this, and it was okay for black, according to theory. Take back? No take backs. I've got knight g4. Bishop g4, interesting move. An interesting move. Also queen h1 followed by bishop g4. He could get out to d3. Climate change analogy. Is that what you're saying, Asterby? Are you making a climate change statement? Are you referencing current climate change issues in our world today? So this has got to be checked with the move order. What am I supposed to play? Bishop e6 right away. That's my first inclination, then I changed my mind. So is knight f6 really bad? There's almost no games. I just want to check this before we go on to the next game. So here he can win the exchange, can he? Oh, I could just take on e4. Alright. So I don't have to worry about that. I was actually fine. I was actually fine all along. Alright. Good to know. I was panicking, you know, that I made a mistake. Like, if I give up... What's up, Antonio? Yeah, I thought I might even give back the exchange. Something like bishop a3, knight e4. This happened here. These are good players. Bishop f8. I was considering doing this, but it's not that bad for white now. He's got the exchange. So that's funny, 2500 player also just misses the obvious knight takes e4. There's nothing wrong with black's position after that. He's like a pawn up. Funny. I didn't see it at first either. I mean, it always looks dangerous to take that pawn, but this knight can always come back to here. Alright, troll in a roll. We should take the subscribers first. So actually, Morales. Dracofire is not a subscriber. Troll is not a subscriber. Morales is a subscriber. Troll on a roll. Troll will wait. Wait, please wait. Wait for subscribers. 6-3. Thank you for not playing the Grand Prix attack. Troll hasn't been here in a long time. I don't think we've seen him in a month. Maybe at least 3 weeks. He's been on heavy workload to troll farm, creating fake Facebook profiles of old white ladies with little dogs. The most common Donald Trump supporters are these sort of fake Facebook profiles. They're all the same, like a 60-year-old lady with a little picture of a dog on her Facebook profile, but no information. Clearly not a real person. It's just like a it's one typical troll profile. So, what am I doing here? Now you're playing c4 with white? You played a really good English the other day. It's always the 60-year-old ladies with pictures of dogs, but then you look up their personal info and there's nothing there. I'm trying to think of the word. Can't find the word that I'm looking for. It's a rare word. But they seem to be the most vehement Trump supporters. Dog lovers. Bishop e2. Now you transpose to d4. Okay. So you play e4, d4, and c4. Channel points. Antonio, you know the theory of the knight a6 king's Indian with white? Rook e1 might be one of the main lines. That's something I didn't think you were a specialist in there. But you know that as well. Wow, that's impressive. The knight a6 variation, not very trendy lately. Rook e1 is probably white's best move according to the book. Black has c6, I think, a move. I'm worried that loses a pawn, though. I used to know this, but I haven't played it much lately. I don't think that bishop g4 is the main line. I didn't think you seriously played the King's Indian with black. But I don't know, maybe, what did you play before you played the Budapest Gambit? Is that what you're saying? Like, prior to the Budapest, you used to play the King's Indian? What did you play before that? Yeah, this variation is not Not recommended by theory. Although bishop g4 might actually be alright against rook e1, now that I remember. Maybe it's not so good against bishop e3. I guess that's what it was. Against bishop e3, bishop g4, not so good. Against rook e1, it actually might be the right move. Yeah. Okay, it's just been a while since I played this. I had this game with Larry Kaufman in New York Open years ago. This is standard. But Kaufman played an interesting move there. He played knight g5. I had never seen anyone play knight g5 here. That's probably better than knight d2. Antonio's like not even phased at all. He plays this every day. Really. Not even surprised, even in the least, by my knight d3. So knight c1. I have knight f4 now. Might be overrated. Rook f takes. I mean, damn, you're insanely fast, but you don't even think about your moves. It's unbelievable. He never spends more than like 5 seconds on a move. He beat me last time. Actually, he's beaten me twice. The last 4 games. He has 3 out of the last 4. Well, maybe. Man, should I play knight h5? Doesn't seem like I have a real King's Indian, a real kingside attack with that many pieces traded here. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. 97, yeah, b4, double exclamation point. Wow. This is disturbing. I feel like I put my knight on the wrong square. I almost never ever play knight d7 in King's Indian. Usually h5 if preferred. Usually h5 is preferred. It's getting too much now. Every game you beat me. It's unbelievable. And every game you sacrifice a piece. But this is crazy, dude. Why do you have to be so psychotic? Can't you just play friendly chess? Why do you have to sacrifice a piece every time you have a chance to sacrifice a piece? You don't have to sacrifice a piece every time. Just play positional chess. That's like the third one in 3 games where he sacrificed a piece against me for like 2 or 3 pawns. Man, I'm lucky if this works. But honestly, why doesn't he like guard his... I guess that's complicated. If he guards with rook c1... I don't really want to take... Do I want to take the 2 rooks? I guess I could play rook c1, queen c1, rook c1, bishop c1, d6, knight e8. Damn, it's complicated. I'm probably winning. It has to go somewhere. Presumably. There's a fire. He's holding the baby. It's an inside joke. But, knight e4 is not a good idea. He started with the English opening, transposes to mainline King's Indian, even though he's an e4 player. Quite a diverse ability in the opening. It took me 30 years to be able to do that. Not much. I've been trying to play, you know, everything with white for 35 years of tournament chess. I'm still not really comfortable with e4, but I sometimes play it. Do you ever defend or just attack? This is interesting. I mean, I think white survived the opening. It's supposed to be better for black. Okay, it's like equal. It's unbelievable there's only 1 game from this position. I must have played it like... I personally have at least like 3 games. That's how good the lichess opening explorer is. It's very complete. I probably literally have like 3 games from this position, none of which ever made it into the database. Although my game with Larry Kaufman in the New York Open should definitely have made it. I don't think I trust the lichess opening explorer. Like, it's just missing too many games. Here Larry played knight g5. Is that right? Knight g5. This is a good move. I ended up losing. I did something like exchanging bishops and playing a5. That's what the engine recommends. but I ended up losing. Like, white just traded off his white square bishop. This is a pretty good line. So your piece sacrifices too much. I didn't like knight d7 for me. Should have played knight h5. Now the computer's coming around. Knight d7, b4, f5, rook c2, queen g5, knight f1, rook f7, and I was terrified. c5, a6, cd6. Yeah, best according to the engine, but still unclear. Now it changes its mind. Wow. You have to play d6, of course. That's what I expected. This you probably would have won in the confusion. Easy for me to blunder here, even if the computer says that I'm better. You know, I don't think this is easy to play. There's the threat of this. Well, I don't see why you're worse. Do I have serious threats here? I mean, what if you just retreat? I didn't think I was that much better, but I guess I am. It's too slow. So that was a good idea. It's forced according to the computer to sack a piece here. Rook c8, and he must play d6. But I take. I was scared of like this. My attack is faster, but I'm not that confident. What's going on here? Like this position. I don't know, man. I probably would have lost in time pressure. Black has to play perfectly. Troll in a roll. Jim, what's up? Thanks for the donation. Alright, Troll in a roll. Chess 960. We haven't seen Troll in like 3 weeks. I don't think I would have defended that, being the second game I played today, and it's a very scary position. And knowing how good Morales is. G3. But it's like every time I play you now, you have some piece sacrifice for 3 pawns. It's very irritating. I just want a nice, friendly game without sacrifices and crazy stuff. F4, especially when I just started. Immediately, I'm sucked into this tactical melee. Get the impression that Antonio wakes up early in the morning. Then you gotta wake up pretty early in the morning to fool me. You're copying me. Now what? Castle kingside? It's a closed Sicilian. Almost a normal position. Actually, this is not a bad square for that bad bishop. Sometimes happens in the closed Sicilians. Troll's feeling lazy, so he's just copying my moves. He's out of practice. Yeah, that last variation. I don't know, man. There's no answer for Larry Kaufman's knight g5. White's just slightly better after that. That might be why a lot of people play an alternative to bishop g4. I keep feeling like I'm actually wrong. No, it's not bishop g4. See, that's the problem. I'm supposed to play in the last game, I'm supposed to play c6 first. I'm supposed to play c6 instead of bishop g4. Then you're supposed to play bishop f1. And then I'm supposed to play bishop g4. And that variation goes back to the late 90s. Actually, earlier than the late 90s. I'm full of crap. That variation probably goes back to like 1990. c6, bishop f1, bishop g4. In fact, one of the first variations for that line. But I never played that way. But I haven't been playing the knight a6 king's Indian or the king's Indian at all lately. So what am I supposed to do here? How's my development? Why do I want to play this move? Mubad is stepping it up. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, that's just becoming annoying. I try to be tolerant. I really do. But it's getting on my nerves now. I don't think he's going to last long after the timeout. I just have a very strong feeling. I try to be fair. We've been pretty lucky without too many trolls lately. Since I'm not an idiot, I don't attract a lot of trolls. But we still get our share. Bishop f7. What exactly does that do? It connects the back rank, but I mean, it's not really. It's going to come out here later with h6 and g5. Oh, you want to castle kingside. See, that's what it's. See, it's very important to try to understand your opponent's motivations. I wouldn't have even suspected it, because I'm not used to playing chess 960 later, but of course, he's castling kingside. That's what it's about. Try to understand your opponent's moves. Always. Even if they're extremely weak, you might miss something. Miss the point. This is ridiculous. I know you're going to castle kingside, but still, your structure is devastated by that move. It's just not worth it. That can't be worth it. Lockdown, quarantine. We never would have suspected you're going to castle kingside, man. Never saw it coming. Watch out for tactics like knight e4. I've had my eye on that for a while. I can castle kingside too. I didn't really decide. I mean, he's got an open b file. That's his justification for taking with the pawn on c6, but it's pretty weak, honestly. I have to take. So there's a slight complication here. Do I have to take? Take e3. Yeah, I like it. You could try something funky like sacrificing the h-pawn. Actually, queen c3 check, d4, queen takes c6. That's kind of a problem for white. For black, I mean. But what about sacrificing this h-pawn? Not really necessary. I'm running out of time. Don't sacrifice unless you have to. There's no reason to give the opponent material if it's not absolutely necessary. d4. It's double-edged. Now I have queen b4. Not really sure. I think he should have played d4 there. Troll's got this bogus rating. Maybe he was on timeout for sandbagging or something. I don't know why we haven't seen him in 3 weeks. He was on punishment from lichess for sandbagging his rating, I guess. Purposely losing rating points or something. Well, we ought to put the knight on c5. It's a tough game. I mean, I thought he would be like strategically devastated, but it's like actually not that bad for black what he did. He's got a bad bishop, bad structure, but it's hard for me to do anything. Surprisingly sort of durable for black. I guess we'll just commit. Commit. Now you can play knight e4, but I'm going to take with the bishop and remain with a good knight. Unopposed, strong knight. If he does it that way. This may be a mistake though. I mean, I'm rushing a little with d4, but I'm down to 36 seconds. Even though there's increment, I want more time to think about what I'm doing. Black is not 1499. He's about 400 points sandbagged. He should be around 1900 in real life. $14.99 was a good year. I'm almost that old. This gives his bishop some scope. I still like white though. It looks like he's almost getting checkmated. On the king side, though I should probably complete my development at some point. I may not get another chance to play g4. Can he prevent it? Yeah, I should probably just play b3. Actually, where should I put my king? Raise your hand if you would castle kingside in this position. I mean, I'm looking at the vacuum over there, you know. My non-existent rook. Well, you know it's sheerly temporary. Your favorite move, Jim? It's a bird Larson. Obviously, fianchettoing. Of course. Fianchetto. And then the H-file. And black has no bishop. Speaking of non-existent, I guess he could try something crazy like G5 now. I feel like he should have played G5, like a last chance to stir things up a bit. Now he's like paralyzed. What do you call it when Antonio has no moves? Paralysis. But this is trolling a roll, just a little joke. For our last opponent. That's bad. This is a positional. Horror. We're going to triple on the H-file and take him down. But it's an illustration of why positional play is more important than tactics. Now that's a little bit of an issue. To take a temporary pause. Pausing our H-file plans. Should I play G5? If G5, F5, I guess. He has other issues. So he's defended that. It's just one. It's merely one avenue. The other avenue is over here. Queen G5 looks brutal. I have an awesome mate. I mean, he's obviously losing, but I don't have like a knockout blow. What I wanted to try to set up was this. There is a beautiful mate. If he doesn't play E6, I was trying to get this. Like, say he just like made a random move. I went here. He just moves back and forth. I was gonna do this. No, I had hallucination. It doesn't work. I wouldn't mate him, I would just win the queen. Trying to something like that. But it doesn't quite work. Alright. Dracofire Krabnik. Jim. Jim is a subscriber. This player, no games, and wrong time control. Guys, we only take challenges between 5+3 and 7+3, because I like to have time to talk about the game while we're playing, so that it is instructive to the viewers. Um, but I do take the challenges from players who are subscribers to the Twitch stream first. So Jim would be first. The others after. After. Eli Kalantar. I am Yanwar. Yanuari. Alright. Draco, I don't know. I don't think he's a subscriber now, unless he's been gifted a sub. There were some gift subs yesterday. I don't remember Dracofire being gift sub. Jim's with B3, man. B3's good. Going back to my A game. We can't mess around with Jim. He's too good. I've got to play my top shelf defense. I've got nothing better than this. So, this is an interesting question. I had a game where I didn't like my position that much recently in this line. But it wasn't against you. It was someone else. I know this is the recommendation. I still don't like white. I don't remember who it was against. Maybe someone in a streamer battle on Sundays. It was a strong player with white. Maybe not. I don't remember. It was definitely a strong player. I just don't remember where I played them. This exact variation. So I've got challenges from Dracofire Krabnik, the Berserker, and Ellie. C4. Now the game in question that I lost was D4. Later my opponent played C4. This is a little bit different. I mean, we have to consider all of our options. I guess this is out of the question though. C4 makes sense. I mean, it looks like a dynamic move. I'm not forced to play C6 though. It feels kind of passive to play C6. But I'm not sure what my other options are realistically. Like knight C6 looks wrong, anti-positional. And then the other thing was, in the game, yeah, maybe he didn't play D4. Maybe it was different, because I think I offered an exchange of bishops, and maybe he played D4 after that. But I remember clearly that I played knight H5 in a position like this, and the database, and I don't know, maybe even the engine suggests that my knight was better off on E8. But I mean, here I have to watch this. Still, not so clear. Knight E8 is interesting because it could get to F5. Knight E8 is great. Oh no, I dropped the exchange. Anyway, this is my first time trying this. Specialty plan. Dracofire, Krabnik, Berserker. Strange, I haven't played the Berserker, but the name seems familiar to me. That's weird. Clearly, heading for knight f3, knight e5. I mean, basically what you're playing is some kind of... It almost seems like a defense to the Trompowsky with colors reversed. H4 is a little crazy. I'm not sure if it's dangerous for me, really, to allow H5, realistically. You're weakening your king's side. You have less pawns around your king than me. I'm not sure. What is an Eric Rosen line? Do I want to know? I'm not sure I want to know. The greatest I am in history. So, alright. Man, I mean, I've got pretty good pieces here. You opened the H file for me? Thank you. I guess the question that defines this kind of position is like, are his bishops actually good? Or are they, in reality, like a liability? Like, this bishop particularly, the biggest question on the board. Is that really a good piece? Oh no, I forgot my queen. Alright. One of those tricky lies that we sometimes tell. Jim's timed this. He's timed everything so it works. Interesting. And 95 is coming. So it's a problem for me, I guess. This doesn't work either. I have 94. I don't know what it does, though. So I guess he's pretty smart. At the end of the day, it looks like I don't have anything. You can play c5, perhaps. White has space advantage after c5. Yeah, you just pretend you blundered. Oh, good idea. Queen b4, a3. So I guess I have to retreat. He seems like he's done this before. Yeah, fail for black. Now white is better. That's gotta go. I mean, maybe it's not that bad for me. f6. f6 is not a joke. Very risky business. That is a risky thing to do, but fun. Fun. What? 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 I'm beginning to like this. Yes. We are beginning to like this, aren't we? Damn, dude, you're incorrigible. What? That wasn't what we expected. I'm half tempted to play king f7. I don't have enough space. Maybe bishop h6. Technically, he has 2 pawn islands. I have 2 pawn islands. I have the bigger island. My king has less pawn cover. He has more space. That bishop is still active bad bishop. I have a great knight. Yesterday, we had a 5-team streamer battle. This team finished 3rd, which wasn't bad. What is my plan here? Damn. b6 is interesting. That's anti-positional though, and I have no plan. Damn it. It would be too risky to play b6. His bishop might open up on this diagonal. I was thinking maybe queen g5. There it is. What? e5 is hanging. You left e5 hanging? With a minute left? Are you kidding me? Still got stuff. Man, he missed a good move there. He had queen e2, and I don't know. Perhaps I could defend. Speaking of defend. Oh my god. This is getting confusing. I lost on time. Is this 3-second increments? I lost on time because bishop e1, so there's no mate. How's my lag? 83. I just lost on time trying to play queen e1 and realizing that it doesn't work. It took me 3 seconds to like put my queen on d1 and then bring it back. And then I had a hallucination that this, but I mean, bishop f5 is a stupid move. Like seriously, you should play rook f3. Probably. I totally didn't expect him to take on f5. It's actually a really bad move. I mean, he should play like rook f3, something else. The last thing I expect him to do is take on f5. It's a blunder. Like, Black's clearly better after that, probably winning. This is his best piece, maybe. It was kind of a poorly played game by me, by you too. Very sloppy. Toward the end. I thought you had Queen E2, in fact. I guess I hallucinated. That was hallucination. I thought you had Queen E2 here. But you don't even have that move, so you played the best move possible. Queen C4. Best move by me. Now King F1, walking away. And you have compensation for your pawn down. No, normally I don't lose on time, but it was kind of a difficult position. That variation is strange. I don't know. I would think it would be good for black, but the computer doesn't seem to agree. Last time I checked it, the engine didn't think that black was equalizing in that variation. So e4, knight c6, knight f3, g6. This is a rather rare variation, but it's probably fine. Fine for black, I suppose. I tried to play the same way the other day in the simul yesterday. I had one game that would have transposed, I suppose. Maybe bishop e3. I can play safe c3, but that's kind of boring. I suppose d5 is a move. Maybe like the engine would probably recommend this. Yeah, I don't really love it, but space is space and it's a tempo. He can also play knight e5. I'm not sure which move is better, knight b8 or knight e5. I'm also not sure if white should play knight c3 or c4 here. But I've never really been that comfortable playing this type of line. I mean, we could have a Benoni where I'm just better, but that's only if he plays c5. It's not a good move. It's theory, but it's like nobody plays the Nimzovich defense, and it's kind of a dubious variation. I've never really been a big believer in these d5 pushes in the queen pawn games. This is now a queen pawn position. Black can nibble at my pawn structure with maybe c6. I had a recent game with black in a similar line though, but my opponent's knight wasn't on f3 and he was able to play f4. And then after f4 it was like too much pawns avalanching for white in the center. It was totally good for white. But with my knight on f3, like my options are pretty restricted. So it's not as good. Definitely not as good. The computer will say that white is significantly better here if you put it on Stockfish. But I think the engine has a couple of flaws. I mean, one of them is that at least the Stockfish engine overestimates space advantages. At least, in my opinion, in terms of advantage for a human being to be able to use in over-the-board game, I feel like it puts too much evaluation on space advantage. Oftentimes, human players have difficulty exploiting a space advantage. But I think the Stockfish's evaluations in general are just too high. If you compare it to lichess, they're like double in the same positions. Put the same position on Leela, it'll say like plus 0.7, whereas Stockfish will say like plus 1.4. So the default engine on lichess overestimates positions, saying that one side is better than they really are. I would say that white is 0.5, half a pawn better, or something in this position, realistically. But it's like a classical King's Indian where I played d5 for no reason, so the diagonal's open. That doesn't necessarily benefit white. But if he ends up not being able to exchange any pieces in the space advantage position, then he's going to be worse. Knight c5, bishop c2, e5, you have a Makaganov, where white has like a solid space advantage. c5 is bad, and e5 is probably bad. Black has to try to nibble at the pawn structure. This is the key idea, or maybe sometimes e6. Well, I mean, I think the only good plans are these little pawn breaks, but timing it is like a very difficult thing, and I don't think that it's easy to play. I don't really recommend playing the Nimzovich, and if you do, you know, you should probably play like e4, knight c6, d4, d5, I guess. Here the light square bishop is blocked. I didn't really like knight d7 for black. Oftentimes maybe play c6 first. And this is okay. But what are you going to do with your knight? You know, maybe the knight's a greater problem than the bishop. Knight c5, bishop c2, a5. But it's only a matter of time till I can chip away at that knight on c5. This is his best, actually. a5 is forced. White is slightly better. Now we really just have a literal space advantage. Here I'm not sure. Bishop g5. No, you don't play black with h5. You never play h5 in this kind of position. Maybe e5, e6, c6, bishop d7. Those are all moves. White is just better. See, the space advantage is a serious issue now. Maybe I can even play knight d4. Knight d4, e5 takes. He has to play e5. e5, knight e2 is also possible. f5, pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Knight g3. Oof. That doesn't look right for black. But maybe it's not that bad. This king here on the diagonal with the bishop on c2. I feel like he has to play e5. It's the only move. Otherwise, he's just done. I mean, I'm going to play f4 and just crush him. Yeah, I mean, I forgot he's on c4, but I still don't like this move. He's gonna face f4. I guess he can play g5, but strategically he's lost after that. So knight e5 is a mistake. Yeah, I mean, this is strategically lost for black, I would say. Oh man, this looks, bishop takes g5 is almost the move here. It's not like I win instantaneously, but the pressure is devastating. I mean, the f5 square, the f file, it's a disaster. I mean, strategically he has good control of e5, but that doesn't compensate for all the bad things about black's position. In a vacuum, that's one good thing, but it's like there's 5 bad things and 1 good thing, so it's over for black. I wonder if I had e5 or something. No. Knight g6 was a good move under the circumstances. Taking away rook h4. The main problem is this. At some point, the f5 square and queen h5 and the bishop on c2. It's too many problems. e6 is a good try, it would seem. Okay, so if takes, I might even have knight takes. Yeah, he can trade queens. This is gonna save him. f7 is just dropping. But I think, you know, in the opening objectively, a5, black played e5 in the actual game. Now it's transposing to a Makhaghanov King's Indian. I suspect white is just better, but not that simple. Alright guys, let's go on. Tough game. Krapnik, Berserker, Eli, Heroku. Welcome back. And Trika-san, who has no games. Alright, we played you once. Krapnik. Guys, I have to leave in about, well, a little over an hour. We have quite a bit of time. So I should be able to play these challenges. I thought queen h4 instead of queen e7. Interesting. But I mean, he's dropping f7, I think. I was doubling rooks on the f file. Isn't that a problem? Yeah, Dragonfire, not easy to play that. I wonder if you should play knight e5 instead of knight b8. I guess it doesn't really... You might be able to play knight e5 though. Like, what do I do? I can't really avoid the exchange of pieces. Maybe exchanging pieces is advantageous to you. It'd be interesting to check that, you know, which is better. But I think your greater problem is later, when you're not playing like c6. Although the whole variation has kind of a shaky reputation for black. I can barely bring myself to play it. It is kind of effective against certain players who don't handle offbeat openings well. But I wouldn't play it against a really good player. I had this one game in February or January against a kid who's like 2275. And I had to like jump when he offered to draw because my position was so bad out of the opening. I was just so happy not to lose. I got like minus 1.5, like something like that. So knight on bd7 from Krapnik. He's playing like Schieberspieler style. I have no idea what this is. It's rare to see this combination of d takes c and knight on bd7. I don't really know. I'm just sort of winging it. Pi Day. What's up? Alright. This is a weird move. I don't understand bishop e4. It doesn't seem... Okay, the one thing it might do would be stop a5 in the event of knight b6. That doesn't even make sense, really. No, bishop e4 is a weird move. So let's say I play queen c2. He can play b5, I guess. Queen c2, b5. Take knight e5, or knight e5 right away, knight e5. Take knight e5. Knight a3, on the other hand. See, there it stops. It actually stops a5 if I put my knight on a3. If knight on bd2, he supports c3. So this is interesting. But I don't know, man. The whole position is weird. Queen a5. Okay, so it's just kind of random. Getting my pawn back. Or we can sort of look behind door number 2. That queen on a5 looks suspicious. What are my options though? Like knight a3, pinning my a pawn with his queen. I can't take here. This is just very bizarre play. You know, bishop e4, queen a5, like it's the Cambridge Springs or something. I don't think that black has a plan. Just sort of making random moves that aren't bad necessarily. I don't know. White seems better now. I have a strong pawn and he's got no play against it whatsoever, unless he plays c5. But black's bishop is bad. Interesting. Now his queen is awkward too. There's knight, let's see, he's got queen h5. Not a plan again, just like a sort of aggressive looking move. But I'm concerned about black's position. I mean, what is he really doing here? My other idea is knight d2. But right now I'm looking for e5 and stuff like knight g5. Yeah, Pide, good to see you. Thank you to you guys who just subscribe to the stream. We appreciate any support you can give us. Donations or subscriptions are very welcome. I'm streaming like 6 days a week. Black's position is looking more and more dubious. But knight g5, f5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes. I don't really know too much about Krapnik. Jim donated this week. 100 bits now, 200 bits previously, 300 bits total. My math is infallible. So f5's forced. I thought I'll take. My pieces are getting pretty active here. There's no immediate knockout. But I don't really have a handle on anything about this opponent. I don't know anything about him. I like to have some sort of read on my opponents. But we have just 4 games and I know very little. He seems quite reasonable. I'm a little surprised his bullet rating is only 1880. Seems stronger. Bullet doesn't count in my book, but for most people it's relevant. Is this a blunder? Appears like he's dropping a pawn. He just blundered a piece. I've been known to be wrong about these things. Well, this is forced knight d5. Knight d5, knight d5, bishop d5. I guess you could even not have to do it. Bishop d5, pawn d5, queen b4, and a piece. But it's a little complicated. Maybe not so simple. I'm honestly not even sure I want to give it up. That bishop. Unbelievably, he's not losing a piece here because of h6. I guess I have bishop f4. h6, bishop f4, but I need to find some sort of secondary threat. Bishop f4 is fine. Then where does he go? Question is, where does he go? I don't know why he didn't play h6. Why would you not play h6 here? Bishop f4, but rook f5 is just crazy. I mean, anyway, bishop f4 gains time. And then I can think about my next plan is h4 if necessary. If you play me, I've won. I'm 10, I've won. What? I've won first when I was 9. In a tournament, Sunshine Coast. Congratulations. I'm playing in a tournament too. In 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks now. A Friday from next Friday. It's going to be nice. Alright, Bishop F4. I hope I'm playing in a tournament. We've got increasing number of people who are sick in Hungary. Tournaments could be in jeopardy, but I'm hoping it goes according to plan. Right now my tournament only has 9 players in the list. That's weird. It should have 10. Someone must have dropped out. I'll have to check the list again. Alright, Krapnik just resigned, but I mean seriously, what about h6 last move? What's the deal here? Why rook f5? Apparently I'm winning, but I didn't even consider f4. Man, that's mental block against weakening my king side. This obviously is like I'm up a piece there. Alright. That's crazy that I didn't think about f4. Only looking at bishop f4. Alright, Berserker, Ellie, Heroku, and Trika. Alright, Berserker. Berserker we've never played before, but again, your name is kind of familiar. Sometimes people create new accounts based on their previous account. You know, it's like Berserker 1, Berserker 2. Bullet is bad for ego. I wouldn't think so. I would think it protects your ego. You know, like you lose a bullet game, who cares? It's not real chess. You can write it off. I remember Larry Christensen used to play a lot of Bullet, and I always thought he played Bullet so he didn't have to put his ego on the line. But if you take it seriously, it's gonna make you crazy. Yeah. It's just a game. We've all heard that before. Alright. I don't know, I just kind of play different stuff. It just depends on my mood. I don't really feel like playing King's Indian. Had a number of those yesterday. I'm going to play the English. This isn't that great for white. I've been playing the English for 30 plus years, but my last game with this was Bishop G5 against a Serbian woman. She's like a WIM. It was 2300. I only got a draw against her. That was maybe 3 years ago. The last time I played this position. But Bishop G5 is weak. I mean, it's like a kind of cop-out. We don't really want to give up our bishop for a knight in a vacuum. So Rook B1 is proper move. It's a classic English or closed Sicilian reversed of some sort. Though the knight on f6 isn't maybe the best line. I'm trying to remember. I think I've played myself with black, but without knight c6. Maybe rook e8 is a move. There's a lot of different variations. This is normal. Knight h5. This is like one of the main lines. I lost to a Mexican IM years ago, Dennis Verdugo. We followed theory for a while. I don't remember how I lost now. It's very complex. I have like a series of books by the Latvian Grandmaster Vladimir Bagirov on the English. This is one of the like mainline positions. One of Black's most aggressive systems. This is an old guy. He's an older player. I mean, that was 20 years ago. Like 2000 or 2001. So the other possibility is knight d4. I think that Black can also play knight d4 here. No, I can't remember. I'm supposed to play bishop b2. I believe. But this is a different line than I had with Verduga. He, I don't think he played knight h5, actually. He played maybe h6, b4, bishop e6, b5, knight e7. Something like that. I'm not that sure about the way White's supposed to play here against knight h5. Again, I don't play this all the time. I don't like this attacking stuff they get. And I don't play this way when I'm black normally, in the closed Sicilian. I have a friend who's a huge expert on this. Wish I could channel his knowledge here. c5 is an interesting move. That doesn't work. Bishop b2 looks like a normal move. Queen b3 might be a move. Kind of a cheapo. I think it's also possible to play e3, so that if he plays f4, take with the e pawn, kind of break up his attacking potential over there. I don't know Juan Gonzalez. It's a restricted word. Gonzalez, very common name. I have a friend from Mexico, Jose Gonzalez, but he lives in Spain. And a lot of the strongest players from Mexico, South America, Argentina, will immigrate, to Europe because they can maybe have better chances to play in tournaments and make money, historically speaking. Better to live in Spain as a professional chess player than Mexico or Argentina. A lot of the Argentine players immigrate as well. King h8 is the correct move. Now what do I do? Knight d5 at some point. I don't know. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do here. e3? Try to slow down his attack? Oddly enough, when I was younger, I used to play like this myself with black. When I was an amateur starting out, years and years and years ago. Knight d5, knight g8 is even an option. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. I don't have a good plan. The Berserker seems pretty strong. He knows his stuff. I also have doubts about queen b3, and I have doubts about combining the plan of queen b3 and e3. I'm not sure that makes sense. The whole position is kind of weird and hard to play in Blitz. Very closed. This knight is in the way of my f-pawn. Should it go back here to h4? h4 is not right. If my queen was back on d1, I might be on that knight on h5. I just feel like it's a weird combination, queen b3 and e3. At least it protects my knight on c3. Yeah, I've heard of that guy, Gonzalez Zamora. So many chess players in the world now, it's hard to keep track. It was easier when I was a kid. Okay, bishop f6. I liked it when there was just like 100 grandmasters in the world or less. Now there's too many people. Chess is overpopulated. Well, at least we can trade some pieces. That's a really aggressive mentality. In general, trying to get pressure against the c7 pawn is our plan. A plan, important plan. I'm basically playing the closed Sicilian with black, with colors reversed. Not something I like, and this is a very bad move, in my opinion. Giving up the bishop here, no good. You can't do that. Black, it's just a positional blunder. It's too important. He's got these weaknesses on the dark squares. This is like losing immediately on the strategic level. c5. I'm trying to undermine this pawn. Yeah, I mean, it's totally unnecessary. Like, his position is fine after takes, CD. Maybe white is slightly better, but I don't really have a great plan. I don't feel like I have a tangible advantage. If he takes on d5, honestly, I hate playing the closed Sicilian. So, and that's what it is. So here I was thinking takes on d6. So CD, pawn takes e3, takes on e7. Now you have bishop a3. Black has c5. So this bishop is ridiculous strong. Bishop a3, c5 again. Still no knockout. Oh my god, my time. How's my time doing? Seems like he's a good bullet player. He resigned. But why? Bishop c5. I guess he resigned because the bishop takes c5. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily see it. It's not a free rook. It's defended. It's defended. But his queen is overloaded. Oh, it is a free rook. I have two rooks. Yeah. Yeah, that's a reason to resign. Alright. I have two rooks. I was thinking bishop takes c5 would be enough. Probably. We have significantly better. I mean, this isn't bad. Like, it probably wins. But, yeah, free rook. It's a good reason to resign. Alright. We lost one of our challengers there when they come back. Guys, good simul yesterday. It's always hard for me to recover from the simuls. It takes a lot out of me. I feel like a vampire. It's been low on blood every Monday morning. Alright. Hard to go to sleep after simuls and wind down. I love doing it, but it's energy drain. Hiroku we haven't played in a long time. Now he used to play d4, c4, a3, I thought. d4, knight f6, c4, e6, a3. If I'm not mistaken, we had a number of games with that. This is a Tarrasch Queen's Gambit reversed. Guys, tomorrow I'm going to host a tournament. I have to create the tournament, a Blitz tournament for our team, Panda and Horses Club. So please keep in mind, tomorrow night at 6:30, if you're around, 6:30 CEST, I'm hosting a Blitz tournament. I will message everybody in the team if you'd like to join our team, Pawn and Horses Club. The donation system in the panels isn't messing up the layout? Really? Let me see. I hadn't really noticed any problems. Well, I don't know, maybe it matters, like, it doesn't look messed up for me, particularly. Let me see how it looks on a full screen. Not a major issue, but I'll look at it. Thanks for the suggestion. So what's this? White doesn't take back on c4. I guess I should have played bishop e6. Technically that's inaccurate, but I'm gonna let him slide here. I should play bishop e6. Inaccurate move order. I doubt I can hold on to that pawn for good, but you could try. Like bishop e6. Yeah, I mean he could play knight e5 there. Probably get the pawn back eventually. But here you don't hesitate. You have to take that pawn back, Hiroku. There's nothing to think about. d5. Is he thinking about d5? d5, knight a5. Not an uncommon. Not an uncommon occurrence. Now, knight a5. I think someone had mentioned that John Bartholomew somewhere, one of my students mentioned, someone mentioned that he had done some analysis somewhere on this type of Tarrasch structure. Previously I had often played like knight c6, bishop g4 in such positions, but I don't really want to give up my bishop. If we can do this knight a5, bishop e6, sort of floating out here to attack c4. John is a good player. I respect what he does. Not bullet chess, but other stuff. I mean, I appreciate when other chess streamers are really serious and thoughtful about the content they create. Like some people just put any kind of garbage out there just to you know, get attention. But Bartholomew's one of the better streamers, I think. legitimately a good player. Can't say that for everyone. Rook c1's a good move. Now knight c4, I guess. Just feels like I made a terrible mistake not playing bishop b6 in the first place. So now take queen b3. I have a problem defending b7 and my rook on c4. It's a little weird. How am I going to protect them both? Something like queen c7 falls victim to knight to b5. This seems like an issue. Queen b3, rook c7, knight b5, rook d7, knight takes a7. There's some interesting stuff. Queen b8. Compensation for pawn, maybe. Possibly. I mean, this is not a bad move, but queen b3 was far more aggressive, trying to actually gain a material advantage. I wonder why I'm not a GM. Damn, Jim. Wonder. Well, I mean, he's just borderline. You know? I mean, you just don't magically go from being like 2450 to 2500. As I found out in my chess career, it's not that easy. Though some people seem to make it look like that. Like you could just like buy the title. It's just not that simple. But I mean, if you compare him to Maurice Ashley, or no, I could do the same with myself all the time. I wonder why Maurice Ashley is a grandmaster and I'm not. Or I don't know, you know, whoever. You can draw a lot of examples that are close. People that just barely got there. And I compare them to myself and I'm like, damn, you know, this person's not much better than me. I don't know what my problem was. Too much drinking, partying, playing poker. I wasn't serious enough. My first failed life. Okay, b3 is a very strange move. Bishop d2 now. Don't worry. 2 weeks I'm going to get my first GM norm. I have to leave at least 5 minutes early today. I usually end at around 1:30, but I have something I have to do. Queen b5. But regardless of John Bartholomew's skill as a chess player, I mean, what I was talking about was chess streamers who produce good content versus like trashy, attention-grabbing YouTube video titles. Knight d5 here is a bit of a problem. I don't really like that. I don't like losing the c file either. My bento box offering. Chess content bento box. Alright. For just $150, you too can own my 5-part series on beginning chess. Damn, guys. Alright. Down on time, 7 seconds. I have only like a minuscule advantage here. Maybe not even. We're going to give it a shot, though. But I was really hoping for something better. Unfortunately, it didn't materialize. World Chess Championship Candidates Tournament coming back apparently in November. It's going to be an exciting November. Candidates Tournament, US election. My tournament will be done. I'm playing from October 16th to the 24th of October. So sadly, guys, there's going to be like a week where I'm probably not going to be streaming. I really have to make a serious effort. He was concerned about knight g4. Oh my god, I just won a piece with rook takes c3. What am I doing? That's embarrassing. I almost lost on time again. I just keep making blunder after blunder. I have knight takes f4. Too panicked. I'm clearly better. 2 blunders in a row. He has an out here too. It's unbelievable. Queen c3. Am I winning here? Queen c2, queen c3. It's a very dangerous position, actually. I missed 2 clear wins. And now I'm in a dangerous situation. Check, bishop f8, bishop h6. I have queen c5. But I don't know how to win. He's going to play like queen d8. And he's like behind my passed pawn. And keeping me tied down to f8. So I screwed up. It's a draw. You know, I never met Leko here. He lives in Germany, I think. Leko hasn't really been involved with Hungarian chess at all in like the last 10 years. He might have played for the Olympic team once or twice, but I've never seen him person to person. No, I don't think he gets he got enough support. Decided to be based more in Germany. He was never the same after the match with Kramnik, and also after getting married, he just didn't seem like the same player anymore. Alright, another challenge here. 7 plus 3. But Leko was amazing when he was younger. But I remember I told the story of how a friend of mine met Fischer and Leko at a Mexican restaurant and said comparing their analysis was like Leko wasn't close in strength to Fischer based on their analysis, the level they could analyze. That was the opinion of a very strong, 2,500 player who was a third party. He wasn't like an amateur saying, oh, well, Bobby Fischer seemed stronger. It's a legit 2,500 player. That was in like 1999 or 98, I don't remember. When Leko was getting really strong and Fischer was still living here. So H3, we had this exact line the other day. So Trika said you have no rated games. We did play, I don't remember. One of my knight f3 openings. I hate the London system, as all of you guys know. What to do here? Good freaking question. It's a good question. I mean, I could exchange pawns. I feel like I'm playing the black side of the French exchange variation after ED. Sort of pathetic. Maybe c6 with the idea of queen b6. Again, it's like c6 could lead to some weird situation. c6 knight d2. This is harmless for black, but it's very hard to choose a plan. I have a wide variety of moves. G6, C6, pawn takes pawn, bishop E7. E4, that looks overextending. I guess G6 is like standard, but then what am I going to do? Get transposed to some sort of bad line? We're hoping here we get a good exchange French, where the bishop is sort of not that well placed there. Bishop E7, Queen E7 check. Normally I wouldn't play this player, alright? Because you have no rated games. This is against my principles. But I did play you once before, and you're communicating in the chat. Was Leko Fischer analyzing the Mexican defense? I don't know. I have to ask my friend. He never really went into details. I guess I didn't ask him. Just general... No. Fischer liked Mexican food, apparently. He did live in South California for a long time. So that obviously had an effect on his tastes. Though he grew up in New York City, he spent a huge chunk of his life in California. I would imagine that would cause you to like Mexican food. Very likely. Budapest has a number of Mexican restaurants. If you ever need a reference, let me know. So, the excitement mounts in the London system against this unrated player. 0-0-0. Usually I ask everybody to have 100 rated games. It's especially important for my simuls where people drop out. We had a few dropouts yesterday. Actually, Altisto dropped out in the first 10 moves or so. Was it Altisto? Maybe not. It was Vichy. One of the regulars. C3. Exchange. Exchange French. This is a little weird. Because I have time for one more game, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I really should leave around 120. If we have any more challenges, it would have to be a 5+3 game. Because 7+3 is pretty long. This could take a while. We might not have time for another game, actually. I really should go. We're going to set up a tournament, a Blitz tournament, for tomorrow night. White's play is perfect. Basically perfect. Draw. I just want to hit the draw button. It's the London system and the French exchange all rolled into one. I don't know how it could be any more boring. No, you don't have to take the draw. Just if you want to draw, it's okay with me. I just find the position exceedingly boring. Symmetrical structure, London system, French exchange, like this is like playing tic-tac-toe or something. So we have time for a 5+3 challenge if someone wants to play. White's probably potentially 0.1 better. Yeah, the engine's giving him plus point something. 0.3, 0.2. I was close. C4 if you want to go for that. I would play Queen F8. Interesting. Yeah, well, I don't know anything about you, how strong you are, how many games you have. It's like, again, not really my pleasure to play unrated players on my stream. I don't really like it. Alright, so Ellie's back. I can take your challenge if you challenge me to 5+3, Ellie. I've got time for one last game. They said they're back, and that's what we need is maximum of one last game at 5+3. 2,000 lichess, okay. As long as you're not an IM or something. There was this one troll. An IM level troll. I mean, if you had rated games and it wasn't an exchange French, I would play it out. But I feel uncomfortable playing unrated players, and I don't like this kind of position. That's the only reason why I offered a draw. And I do have time for just this one last game. Matt Bobolo is rating with a party of 33. Guys, check out his stream. International Master from Poland. We have an IM and GM tournament going on. I think there's a player from Poland. Maybe more than one. But there's a lot of COVID increase here, and I think tournaments could start to slow down. I'm playing from the 16th next Friday to the 24th in a GM tournament. But I don't think there's any Polish players. There is now in the first Saturday, and it's a problem. I saw the first Saturday has a couple of Czech players who didn't show up. And I'm wondering if something went wrong, you know, with the border crossings or something, because Platt and another guy are supposed to be playing in this GM tournament. But it's very touch and go now with COVID, and if you're allowed to go across borders. So I'm thinking like tournaments are going to be a problem again. Matt Bobolo, thanks for the raid. So this is wild. I just played knight c6, white played f5, but f5 is a blunder. You're getting too aggressive. You have the right idea here on this diagonal and the f file, but your development's too slow. And now you walked into queen h4 check. Personally, I don't really like bishop c4. I think it's too early to put the bishop on c4. That's okay if I play d6. So I don't really condone this move. It's not that bad, though. I think it's better to play knight f3 and wait for black to play d6, and then bishop c4 is better. Yeah, they have all these conditions. I saw there's a GM tournament in Charlotte, which is finishing today. And by the way, speaking of Polish players, there's Dragun and Alexander Mista in that tournament, and I was like, maybe those guys are staying in the United States, but I mean, I don't know how anybody from Europe is like allowed to go to the United States now with COVID the way it is. That's crazy. Honestly, like I don't think my family would even be allowed to travel to the United States under the current situation. So I'm not sure how foreign players would. Maybe they're already in the United States, those guys. It's also kind of crazy that the Charlotte guys are organizing a tournament, even though it's legal in like North Carolina. I think it's kind of like immoral. They shouldn't be doing that at this time. Mate, just my opinion, you know, the COVID, the way it's out of control in the United States, they shouldn't be having a GM tournament or any tournaments, even if it's allowed in North Carolina. But I noticed those Polish guys were playing. They needed foreign players, and they found a few. Hard to organize now. But here, I don't know, Jim, we've got a tournament coming up. That's the only tournament in the United States. It's unbelievable. I don't know how, like in the state of North Carolina, they're supposedly allowed to do it, but I looked at like chess results, and I don't think there's another single live tournament in the entirety of the United States. That's very, very dubious, you know. I would think they'd be like legally taking a huge risk holding that tournament, because they could get sued by anybody, probably. Thank you for the game, Ellie. Guys, I'm going to play in a Grandmaster tournament, hopefully, if it doesn't get canceled, here in Budapest, which is risky enough, but not as bad as the United States, from October 16th to the 24th. So we won't be streaming as much from those dates. Trixie Cat. Alright, one last game. I can stay till 1:20. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I watch the news. It's very confusing about President Trump. The doctor says one thing and then the advisors say another. Like, it's ridiculous. They can't even be honest about his condition. And he's like these made-up photo ops. I can't even talk about it anymore. I just want it all to be over. Life can go back to normal after November, hopefully. So, much thanks for the raid from Bobola. Hoping chess will get back to normal here in Europe as well. But we're facing really serious COVID increase in Budapest. It's as bad as it has been. So I'm a little concerned even about my tournament in 2 weeks. I don't really like this, playing e5 here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. It's like the old Indian. It's the old Indian reversed. In Queensland is better. I know Melbourne had a lot of problems, but even their lockdown is finally easing up a little. They don't have the curfew anymore. We have a friend in Melbourne who was complaining about how strict it was. But Australia is a totally different story. In Europe now, it's like getting out of control again. At least in Australia, you just have your one country to worry about. But in Europe, it's all confused because you have like 15 different countries or more with totally different rules. It's a mess to get them to work together. It makes things very difficult when different countries can't work together toward a goal. This is peculiar now. White's playing a little bit passively. I don't want to exchange pieces because I have more space. So we're going to go knight f4. Maybe bishop a6, but then white has queen here. So I guess we'll just bishop b7 it with a good game. We'd like to grab that bishop if I can get it. I just want to see the world get back to normal. And the chess world as well. I'm very fortunate if I can play in 2 weeks. It's hard to find foreign players to play in this tournament. That's why I'm in. So knight f4 takes d3. Bishop takes d3. No. I'm going to have to back off to a central location. How about my e5 pawn? White has problems with the d3. Structurally, like, black is better. The backwardness to this pawn, very significant. Queen is poorly placed at c2. This is a danger on the long diagonal. White is now threatening h6 and e5, which I'm not happy about. Not happy. But we might have tricks to save the day. Tricksy tricks. So h5, 95, 95. Then I played that. I mean, it looks pretty interesting. White has a defense, though. The Ministry of Defense. Damn. This is craziness. Can't believe white has some sort of defense here. I'm hoping for the long diagonal, but I don't have anything there. There's some interesting lines with knight b4. I'm afraid it's not enough, though. There's also knight to d4. Some crazy variations here. Knight d4, pawn d4. Pawn to d4. I can't believe it. Can't believe you can get away with this. h5, knight e5. h5. Well, it's probably my best move, but I don't have enough. Peer pressured me into it. It's probably not enough. This f4 defends everything. Or maybe I had a hallucination. Maybe I had a hallucination. My original plan was h5, but I guess I'm hallucinating. I imagine white had an extra move. I was giving white an extra move in my mind. Whew, I need a hint once in a while. Thank you for the occasional hint, guys. Yesterday, it saved me in my last simul game. No, a6 or anything like that is too slow. The only chance is on the long diagonal. But for some reason, I was like imagining white. It was white's turn in this position. Like, they would already have f4, and it would be white to move, and they were playing like queen g2 or bishop g2. That's my hallucination. It was really strange. I'm lucky we had a hint. No, it was weird. Totally. Totally. And knight takes c5 is a blunder. Probably knight g4 was a mistake after all, but yeah. Man, I spent like 2 minutes on this move. I was going to play h5, then I started freaking out and looking at other stuff. This is crazy. I was even looking at this. This is actually plausible. It turns out that h5, though, I don't know. It was like I imagined that white had an extra move. In my mind, white had already got in f4. And when I played queen d5, white was playing bishop g2, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just like losing. That was my problem. I just gave white an extra move in my imagination of what was going to happen. So knight d4, was that a possibility? I never thought of that, though. I might want to open up the diagonal. You know, that's why knight cd4 is interesting. Anyway, guys, gotta go. So, join our team, Pawn and Horses Club. I'm going to be back tomorrow night and host not an arena, but a Swiss Blitz tournament. We're hosting Swiss Blitz, 6:30 p.m. Central European time. Summertime. It's still summertime. CEST tomorrow, 6:30. Blitz tournament, 9 rounds. Join our team to play, the Pawn and Horses Club. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow night. That's about it. Don't forget, Thursdays are subscriber stream, so you can submit a game if you're a subscriber to the stream. Thanks to Matt Bobla for the raid, and everybody. We'll see what we got. Later, guys.